I just happened up on this verse. It was just sitting there in my little digital laptop Bible. You know, the beginning of the day is sundown. So a few months ago, I began sitting with Daddy, not just Big Daddy. Big Daddy, for those of you that are new, Big Daddy is the Most High. He's the Father of Yeshua, the Father of Jesus. He is above all else. He's big and he's my daddy, and I call him Big Daddy, and he likes it. So that's not a disrespectful thing. His name, best that I know how to pronounce it, of the dialects and the times that I've studied and seen and heard from other people who are really great Hebrew scholars, the way I pronounce it is the pronunciation Yahweh. That's Big Daddy's name. Yahovah, Yahuwah. I mean, there's several different dialectic ways to pronounce it. I like to pronounce it Yahweh. And he's Big Daddy. And he loves us. So I pick up my Bible to sit with him to begin the day this evening after sundown. And it was Isaiah 50, verse 10. And it just was full of understanding. I'll read you the King James Version. That's the English translation that I use. See, it's got English on one side and then the Hebrew literal translation. Every word is literally translated, and it helps a lot. The English is, "Who is among you that fears the Lord, that obeys the voice of his servant, that walks in darkness and has no light? Let him trust in the name of the Lord and stay upon his God." Now, I don't know why they did this, but some 1800 years ago, from what I hear, I don't know, I was not there, but from what I hear, there was some kind of council that said, "Oh, we can't say his name anymore. We're going to just refer to him, Big Daddy, Yahweh. We're not going to say his name anymore." And there might have been some good reasons for that. Who knows? I don't know. I don't care. I just know that they covered up his name. Even the Jewish people of today, they won't say his name unless certain situations are met. They just say the name. They call our Father the name. Their Father the name. Yahweh, our Elohim. They call him Hashem, the name. Okay, whatever. He's big. He's my daddy. He's my daddy. And he put his name in here 6,800 plus times. And I'm thinking we're not to cover it up. Matter of fact, one of the 10 commandments is, in our English vernacular, "You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain." A literal translation, "You shall not take the name of Yahweh, your Elohim, and bring it to nothing." That's what that one of the big 10 commandments actually says. And yet, it's exactly what's been done. It's okay. I'm not fussing. I'm just saying, look, my daddy put his name out there, and he told us not to cover it up and bring it to nothing. And I like his name. And I like his nickname, Big Daddy. He's big. He's my daddy. I love my Big Daddy. Now, let's go into this Hebrew interlinear every Hebrew word literally translated and get a lot more out of this verse. I don't know if you can hear this. My dogs, I have German Shepherd dogs, and some of them are right outside that window, and they were howling. I like it when they howl. Okay, Isaiah 50, verse 10. Who among you is a fearing one of Yahweh? Fearing one could also mean one that is in awe of Yahweh. Who among you is in awe of Yahweh, our Father? Wow. Are you one of those that are in awe of Him? I used to work in the automobile industry, and one of the owners of business that I worked for. I worked for myself, but I was a subcontractor, and he had told me where another owner had done something against him, and he was telling me this story. He said, I could really play the game with him and really hurt him and put the screws to him, but the fear of God is in me, and I choose not to do that. I was like, wow, I like it. Who among you is in a fear of Yahweh, being in awe of Yahweh position? Listening to the voice of His servant who goes about in darknesses, and there is no brightness within him. That one having the fear and the awe of our Father, he says, he should be trusting in the name of Yahweh, and he shall lean into his Elohim. Now, Yahweh is Big Daddy's name. He put it in here over 6,800 times. But in the very beginning of Genesis, that first line, Bereshit bara Elohim, it doesn't say in the beginning he created Yahweh. It says in the beginning he created Elohim. That is a plural word. Elohim is they. Yahweh was involved in speaking. Yeshua re-spoke, and the Spirit of the Father did stuff. I don't know how that works. I don't really care. I'm just his little child, and this jumped out at me. Why are we, those of us who are in awe of our Father, sitting and listening to his servants that are going about in darknesses with no brightness within them? Why do we do that? We are to, here's the instruction, we are to trust in the name of Yahweh, and we should be leaning into and up against in oneness with Elohim. Them, the Father, the Son, the Spirit. That Spirit, Ruach, means the wind or the breath of the Father. Wow. See, Elohim, wow. There was oneness before the creation ever happened. The garden that the Father planted, we call it the universe. He made a tiny seed and gathered everybody around. Say, hey guys, watch this. And he planted it and it started growing. And they were like, wow. Well, sometime after that creation, 1/3 of the angels, led by the adversary, decided to split off, come out of oneness, come out of being in awe of Yahweh and the Elohim, come out of that and form a second kingdom, the antithesis of the Father's kingdom. They like darkness instead of light. They like death instead of life. They like hatred and wickedness instead of love. So sometime after the creation, the two kingdoms were set up, or the second kingdom was set up. Wow. How dumb can you be? And now there's no more oneness. So Big Daddy, knowing what was going to happen in the he knew all this was going to unfold. He knew all this was going to unfold. So he and Yeshua and the Ruach, the Spirit, the wind, the breath of the Father, the Elohim, plural, all of them in oneness, said later in Genesis, hey, let us make man in our own image, after our likeness. And they're all like, yeah. Now, they, Elohim, Big Daddy, Yeshua, and the Spirit, they set out to make man in their own image, after their likeness, and they did not fail. When all this is over with, when it's all done and time is finished and there is nothing else to be said and nothing else to be done, and we're all gathered in the vast assembly before them, Big Daddy, Yeshua, the Spirit, woo, wow. The dark ones and those of us walking in darkness. I walked in a lot of darkness in my life. I spent decades knowing about them. But when you begin to sit with them every day, finding your first love and turning it toward them, wow. It's different than just religiously knowing about them. So in that end moment, all of the dark-hearted ones, they get to go, they get exactly what they wanted. They get to go into this new dimensionality, this new space, this whole brand new thing that our Father was the architect of and built and set up, with no light, no life, and no love. It's what they wanted. They get to go there. We at this point get to enter into the new heavens and the new earth, whatever that means. I don't know. I'm just going to be excited to see it, because I know him. I know them. Just a little tiny bit. I've only been sitting with them to get to know them a little over 13 years. But boy, I just know a little fleck of the ways of the kingdom. Seek first the kingdom of Yahweh Seek first his kingdom. And the stuff just happens. And all things work together for good for those of us that are in this verse, Isaiah 50, verse 10, in awe of our Father. Oh, the fearing ones of Yahweh. You have no need to be listening to his servants that are walking in darknesses and they have no brightness in them. We can actually sit with the Father, get to know them, get to know the ways of their kingdom, his kingdom, and get to know his thoughts, get to know his perspective, how he sees things, how he sees us, how he sees our enemies, how he sees. Wow. We can go sit with him and be personally tutored by Elohim, them. Wow. One of John's letters. I don't know which one. I think it's John 2. I don't know. I need to look that up. You have no need that man teach you. I mean, you can, and teaching's good. I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm just telling you the little things that pop up out of this book right here that I'm getting from our Father, because we can get to know him. We can get to know them. We can enter into that secret place and become one with them. Wow. Wow. We can actually, like Enoch, we can walk with them. It's just like a human learning to walk. I mean, it takes time. You ever seen a little baby learning to walk? They can walk a little bit and then they just fall. I mean, just fall right on their fanny. Boy, it was like, oh, that had to hurt. They're laughing. Learning to walk is fun. Learning to walk is cool. Being in awe of our Father. Whoa! And going into his secret place and entering up the mountain into his tent of meeting and sitting with them. And getting to know them. Wow. And I like this. Leaning into. Let's expand this word. He shall lean into his Elohim. Let's click on this word and look at the definition, or the definition of this word. And he shall lean into his Elohim, to support oneself. You know, back then all the guys had these staffs. Because this rocky wilderness, you could stumble easy. I guess, use a staff for your sheep and, for defense. I mean, there's a lot of things you could use your staff for, but it gave you good support. Well, Big Daddy's telling us to lean into them. Elohim, lean into them, because they are our support staff. Yeshua did what? He washed their feet. They are here and making themselves known to the little children of them that want to know them. They are acting as our little children, our support staff. Phew, that's fresh bread. Never seen that before. They're our support staff. Daddy gave up everything. He gave up all of his authority, all of his force or his power. Wow. He gave that to Yeshua. This is in the heavenly realm and in the cosmos. Gave it all up. Daddy gave up all the most important things of him to Yeshua. Yeshua, as we know, he gave up in his first trip here as the suffering servant. He gave up. Wow. Wow, what he went through. Oh, wow. And the Spirit, the Ruach, the wind, the breath of the Father, he never says anything in and of himself. He only says what he hears Big Daddy say. Bam! They have given up everything to become our support staff. If we will be in awe of them, if we will humble ourselves like little children and enter into that secret place, climb the mountain, go into the tent of meeting and just sit there with them in awe of them, to hear from them and to get to know them. That was good. I left my cup up there. Pretend this says be well, and you be well. That was great, wasn't it? Thank you guys. Love you.